What's up YouTube? Swiftly here back with another NBA 2K26 video. Today's video I have another episode of Red Builds. In today's video we are going to be making a ball hawking ISO sniper. So with that being said, let's jump straight into the build. Now I made this build at PG and I went pretty much default everything. You can play around with the height, the weight, and the wingspan, but I just went default on everything. And then for the attributes, I went with a 81 on the close shot. We went 80 on the driving layup. Driving dunk, I think I had 27. Standing dunk had 31. Post control had 45. Now, I know people are going to say, oh man, those are pretty low stats for finishing. But trust me, you can always throw a cap breaker on this. When you have really, really low stats like this, one or two cap breakers will jump this up like 10 to 12 attributes almost. So, you know, a 27 driving dunk can go easily up to like a 65 or a 75 or type of driving dunk. I think I have a build with like 73 driving dunk, and I was able to put for 5 cap breakers, I was able to go all the way up to like a 87 or 89 or something like that driving dunk. So if you have cap breakers, you can always cap breaker this and, you know, get your driving dunk or your standing dunk up if you want standing dunk animations. But moving on to the shooting, we do have a 90 on the midi, and then we have a maxed out 94 3 ball with a 71 free throw. For the playmaking, we do have a 70 pass accuracy, a 90 ball handle, and then an 88 speed with ball, which you can always cap breaker, you know, throw some 2-3 cap breakers on this and get Hall of Fame lightning launch, which I do like. You know, 90 ball handles gonna get you silver ankle assassin, unpluckable handles for days, which is very important, I think, especially when it comes to shooting in this game. Then for the defense, we have a 50 interior defense, we have a 79 perimeter defense, we have a 90 steal, and then for the block, we have 29 on the block. Rebounded, we got 40-25. For the physicals, we got an 89 speed, we have an 85 agility, we have a 60 vertical, and then we have a 40, I'm trying to think, is it 50 strength or 40 strength? And then I got points left over somehow. I don't remember what else I put on this build. I think maybe I put the free throw up and then a standing dunk. Honestly, don't even remember. But your build should look similar to this, pretty much. And when you create your build, of course, you'll see shades of. We see Jerry West, we see Hershey Hawkins, we see John Stockton, 0203, and of course our Archetype ball hawking ISO sniper, go-to badge, mini marksman, limitless range, deadeye. Top attributes: 3-point shooting, mid-range shooting, and ball handle. Obviously, you're an ISO sniper. You got the ball hawking name because you do have high steal. Strengths are a consistent shooter from deep, quick hands to force turnovers, money mid-range scorer, breaks ankles on a dime, not a dunking threat, which obviously we can, you know, cure that with cap breakers. And same thing with poor passer for a PG, limits team offense, which honestly I've seen a lot of PGs running offense with a 71. And for right now, in September, first month or so of the game, first season, you definitely can get away with a low pass accuracy, in my opinion. Now, I'm running a build with a, my first build got a 94 pass accuracy, and I think my pass accuracy is like at a 92 right now, so I haven't maxed it out just yet. But personally, I haven't thrown a single intercepted pass. I've thrown like maybe 3-4 turnovers trying to throw an alley-oop to somebody or something like that, or trying to throw a pass, they get bumped and then the ball just goes out of bounds. They can't even get the animation where they catch the ball, just goes out of bounds. But so far, I've played like maybe 15 rec games, and I've yet to throw an intercepted pass. So they did a really good job on the passing lane steals this year. They're not OP. So a lot of people are running with like a 70, 71, 76, you know, 80 pass accuracy because you genuinely don't need it. But I know how 2K is. They like to patch things. They like to, you know, nerf things, buff things. So We'll see how the steals go. So you really can get by with the low pass accuracy right now, even in 5v5. But you know, you can cap breaker that to get that up. If you do feel uncomfortable with just the 70, 71 pass accuracy, you can use cap breakers to get that up. So the weaknesses on this build are really not, you know, real, you know, threat weaknesses in my opinion, because these are all things that you can cap breaker, and there's only 2 weaknesses. Now, if you want the ball hawking ISO sniper build, this is a potential, you know, attribute layout you can go with. Now, me personally, I'm not too much of a fan of this build. Only due, and I'm gonna go back to edit real quick just so you guys can see this briefly, and that's only due to the low strength. Now, strong handle, you know, strong handle isn't you know, a necessity this year because of how fast-paced the game is, and with how smooth and controlled the dribbling is. It is extremely easy this year to finesse your way to the basket. If you've played NBA 2K26, then you already know what I'm telling you is straight facts. You don't really necessarily need the extra strength to just bowl people over like you did in 2K25, because 2K25 was much more slower paced game. So the extra strength to just spin off somebody or to just push somebody out the way and get a layup or a dunk was really needed in 25. This year, with how the dribbling is and how fast-paced the offense and the game is, you don't really need that extra strength. It's nice to have, but you don't need it. Now, I will say this. I'm not a fan, right? I don't think you need strong handle this year. However, I'm not a fan of not having physical finisher, okay? I feel like that is going to be extremely useful badge this year. Physical finisher, in my opinion, is just as important as layup mixmaster this year when it comes to being a high-level, consistent finisher in the paint. So if there was any changes I would make to this build, it would probably be editing some changes so that I could at least get a 60 strength. We're at a 50 strength right now. You could always throw some cap breakers on there and get that strength up if you decide that you don't want to change anything on this build. But the way I have it set up, you know, you can add cap breakers to, you know, ball handle to get, you know, some extra badges for ball handle going up, and getting better dribbling animation SIGs at 92, which a lot of people want to go to 92. I have the speed with ball set up to where we could throw 3 cap breakers on that and get Hall of Fame lightning launch at 91. I have it set up where you could put 5 cap breakers on drive and layup and get silver layup mixmaster at 85, and then throw, you know, a max +1 or max +2 on that for gold or Hall of Fame layup mixmaster, which is very important this year. I have it also set up where you could throw 3 cap breakers on your perimeter defense to get up to an 82 for silver challenger, and then you can also throw a max +1 or 2 on that so you can bolster your defense. So the way these attributes are set up, they're set up to, you know, a certain extent to where you can cap breaker and you don't have to throw a full 5 cap breakers on these attributes. You can throw 2 here, or really 3 here. You could throw 2 on your ball handle. You could throw 3 on your speed with ball. You could throw 3 on your perimeter defense. You know, you could throw a couple on your steal if you really want to throw, get your, you know, badges higher on your steal. But I would also, you know, because we got so many cap breakers this year, I would also recommend throwing at least something on strength so you can get that 64 physical finisher. However, that's just my opinion on this build. Anyway, it has been your boy Swiftly. Please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K26 content, and of course more rare builds like this. I'm out. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.